Hey everyone, Techne here with my first video of 2021. Let me tell you what, I am very excited for this year. Last year was an awesome year for peripherals, and I think they're just going to top it this year with so many more awesome peripherals. But more importantly than that, my first video of 2021 here. If any of you watched my previous videos of 2020, I told you guys, hey, you're going to get the exact same Techne in 2021, and that is what you're going to get right here, you know? And that kind of goes right along with this review. I don't really want to call this really a review, maybe a rant and a review. What better way to start 2021 than a good old Techne rant? And that brings me right into the product we're going to cover today, and that is the Endgame Gear XM1. Yeah, we already covered that before, right? Now, we're going to talk about the Endgame Gear XM1 RGB. Well, it just has lights on it. What's the difference, right? Like, who cares? So what we're going to talk about, actually, is the Endgame Gear XM1r. Wait. We just had RGB. This is just R, so there's no GB. It's just red? No? Remastered? Revision? Revisited? Repetitive? That's probably more like it. Repetitive. The XM1 repetitive. So let's start it off with the good old rant here, right? I was very weary and just didn't want to cover this mouse right here. I mean, I was excited for it. Don't get me wrong. When the company contacted me, I was like, heck yeah, I love your mouse. You know what I mean? Same with the RGB one. But as y'all know, I didn't cover the RGB one because what would I say? Hey, it's an XM1 that's heavier with RGB. Done. Right? Like, why review it? And that's honestly how I feel about the XM1R. I didn't want to cover it. It's just boring, but I wanted to kind of more or less have a conversation with you guys. Maybe put some light into the company's eyes, but I think us as tech reviewers in general, we got to come together and kind of help make tech get better, right? Not make company fluffed up. Oh, hey, your product is great. Keep sending me more. We don't got to be on that level. We got to be on a level of, hey, let's kind of, we know what we want, we know what will be better, and if us as reviewers, where thousands of people are seeing it, if we put it out there, I think it'll help elevate and expedite what we want from these companies, from great tech right here. And I think Endgame Gear has it hands down right here, you know what I mean? But again, this mouse has been done. We don't need to give it a different name because there's new switches, because there's new skates, whatever, you know what I mean? There's new colors. It's not a new mouse. It's the same stinking mouse. You're creating customer confusion here, in my opinion. But anyways, let's focus on the XM1R here, whatever, you know? It's like, I just want to call it the XM1 because that's really what it is. So what did they do different here? Well, there's different switches. You're using Kale switches in here, and on the bottom, they changed out the feet. You got the traditional feet like on the regular XM1 where it's two there, but now you can put these big Zowie S type of feet. They feel the exact same when you use them, honestly. They feel the T. Now, let me tell you one thing about these feet that I've noticed here. I wish they were rounded a little bit more on the edge. I'd probably slap some core pads if this was my main right here, but again, they're a little sharp on the edge, and I feel a little bit of drag on my pad. So again, I wish they were rounded off a little bit better. They are big, thick feet for sure, but again, I wish they were rounded. Now, they also stated they updated the cord to be more durable. And that's what it feels like, more durable. It's not a better cable than the XM1. The XM1 out the box, the original right there, well, I guess not the original, the second version, you know, the cable is nice. It is super loose. Hands down the best cable out of a box. This one, you can see and you can feel it's thicker. Now, is this one deal breaking? No, that's not what I'm saying here. You know, it's still a great cable, but no, it is not as good as the second version. I don't know what to call that one, you know what I mean? So again, I feel like they kind of went downgrade there. Now, touching on those new switches, the Kale switches, I mean, it's mild. These feel a little firmer than my original XM1, but I'm gonna put that more on the line of, hey, I use my original XM1 a lot more than this guy right here, but again, these do feel firmer right now. I can tell you the side buttons are a lot crispier right here. They still got a little bit of a mushy feeling, just slightly, especially my back one here. But they're a little bit crispier than my original. But again, I got to put that more on the line of, hey, I used the heck out of my original XM1, and this one I've just, you know, used for a few days here. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there's a PAW3370 sensor under here. Performs the exact same as the original. Now the two things I'm gonna say for last, which I didn't cover in the beginning like I pretty much always do with every mouse review, you know, that is the build, the shape, and the dimensions right here. The shape and dimensions of this mouse is stinking fantastic. It is perfect, just like the very first one with the rubber cable. It's the same, so if you've ever used one, it's the same. You just got different shell colors here. Whoop-de stinking do. You know what I mean? I mean, it does look cool. I love the way it looks for sure. You know what I mean? But other than that, dimensions are the same. The weight is perfect. You know what I mean? The build on this guy is stinking solid. Rock solid. No creaking, no flexing, no button wobble, no nothing. It is incredibly solid. And that's exactly what the XM1 is. Like I stated with the other one, the white one right here, this is probably one of the best, if not the best wired mouse straight out of the box. This is a one and done mouse here. The only other mouse I can even say and put that in that class as a one and done, like I could tell anyone, hey, pick up the XM1 and I think you're gonna be able to game with it as far as any grip. Pull into the back of your palm, humps back a little bit, fingertip claw. I think you'll be able to do anything with this mouse. The only other mouse I can put in that class is the G Pro Wireless. We have the Super Light here, you know what I mean? Again, this is one of those one and done where I think it will fit anybody's hand shape. This one feels actually a little bit smaller than this guy, and that's why I like the XM1 a bit better, you know, but it's really nice to put it in that class of, hey, these are the two mice that I can recommend to anybody and say, I think you're gonna be pretty stinking happy with these guys. All right, so you might be asking yourself, hey, Techne, well, why the heck are you covering this mouse if you say it doesn't really deserve the review? The RGB one didn't deserve a review. This one doesn't, do you know what I mean? We covered the XM1 before. These are just like refreshes and mild updates. Again, like I stated, the original XM1 right here, hands down, I would clearly say it, still to this day, it's the best mouse out of the box, you know, from build, performance, value, everything about it is just perfect right out of the box. Hands down the best wired mouse out of the box. I still say it to this day, you know what I mean? It's that good. But let's stop beating a dead horse with this stinking mouse, you know? Sure, put new switches in if you want. Put a new sensor in if you want. Change the colors if you want. But we don't need different. Again, we're just getting confused here, you know what I mean? What we need to do, and again, me stating ranting here, we can take it as a rant, but again, I want to use my platform if it can do anything, you know? It may be better a little bit of technology. Put some ideas in these companies' heads, you know? And I'm sure Endgame Gear is already on it. And that's what, because actually I know they're already on it because they've put a tweet out before. Would you rather a smaller or a bigger XM, or what do you prefer, you know? And I believe the votes were like right on line, right on par right there. And that's what I think they need to do. And I'm excited for 2021 because I'm sure I don't want to say I'm sure, I honestly don't know, but I hope that they are going to make a smaller XM1 and then a bigger XM1, right? Because this is medium. This is a medium shape here. It's a fantastic shape. But I think it would be great to have a large one, which I would probably use more, you know, and then a smaller one for those people. So again, you got the option, small, medium, large. But more importantly, on top of that, what they need to do, again, with such a great mouse, is they need to make it wireless. Wow, like just start with the base shape as wireless, then we'll see how good the small and large one does or something like that. That's what we need to do, and that's when we can start making different models, but we don't gotta keep rehashing the same thing. Put a different stinking switch in it and call it a different model number? Like it's ridiculous. XM1 ridiculous. There we go, we covered it, we nailed it down, you know what I mean? So again, that's what we need to do. Great mouse, fantastic mouse, but stop beating a dead horse, stop, you know, making new models with, you know, what's next? You're gonna make one with a white scroll wheel and call it the XM1W? Like, good night. But anyways, that's all I have to cover on the XM1R, XM1 Rant. It's perfect right there, you know, the XM1 Rant right here. Again, like I told you before, you get the exact same Techne going into 2021, just straight up consumer. What we want is tech, not fluffed up commercials like, nah, you don't need to buy the stinking refresh, you know, just stick with the regular one. If you got the regular one, you're gonna be perfectly fine. You know, fantastic mouse, love the mouse, all of them are great, but again, we don't need to be doing that. Like, you got something good here, let's refresh it the way it needs to be, and you know what that is. But anyways, guys, Techne 2021, hope I helped you out here, hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.